Please welcome our three drivers here ahead of rounds 3 and 4 of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. From right to left, we have António Félix da Costa from Tag Heuer Porsche, Taylor Barnard from Neon McLaren, and Stoffel Vandoorne from Maserati MSG Racing. And we'll start with Antonio. Antonio, you've had a nice few weeks being the championship leader. You must come into this weekend feeling rested, feeling positive, and ready to have a crack at this brand new track for Formula E.
Yeah, it's been, business as usual, to be honest. I think from midway over last season, we've definitely clicked in terms of performance, the package, the team and myself. And we definitely had a good start to the season this year. So many unknowns this year, to be honest, with the new tire, the new way of using the attack mode, now the pit boost this weekend. So, to be honest, we've just been putting our heads down and digging deep to try and, anticipate all of the scenarios that might happen to us. But yeah, we had a little bit of time off. I did race the 24 Hours of Daytona, so spent 2 weeks out there right after Mexico. And yeah, it didn't really feel like a holiday, to be honest.
Speaking of pit boost, as someone that's been here from the start, are you pleased that pit boost does not mean you have to get out of the car and get into another car?
Yeah, I mean, my shins suffered and my knees suffered a lot, and I'm a small guy. I think some of the bigger guys were suffering more when we had to jump from one car to the other. But I think this clearly highlights the trajectory of Formula E, of the growth and in technology of Formula E in only 10 years. Like, we're still very, very young, and to think that 6 years ago we were still changing cars. We were still, driving at a third of the speed, not being able to complete a full race with a single battery, And now not only we're doing that, but we're going so much faster. The technology we're having in the cars is huge. So yeah, it's been fun to be a part of this. I think it's important to also, take the stigma out of people, somebody that is still not convinced of buying an electric car for their day-to-day life, because you have to stop for hours to charge it. I think this is another big step in getting that out of their heads. We're going to be charging 10% in 30 seconds. That's huge, So yeah, I'm happy to be a part of this and to see it hit the track. Hopefully it goes without any issues. It would be bad to see anybody having their race ruined because something malfunctioned, but it's part of the game. Hopefully everything goes well for everybody, and we can have a first positive viewing of the pit boost.
I know a lot of fans love that this is an evening and night race. Do you think there's any benefit to you? You mentioned Daytona, to being involved in racing at night. Is there any benefit to that as a driver?
It's not really dark here. I don't think I even changed my visor, to be honest. We have so much lighting on the track. It is cool to race under the lights, for sure. The liveries come alive and some of the helmets come alive, and I think it's a very cool environment. But it's a totally different feeling to driving at night in Le Mans, for example, where the only lights you have, it's actually your headlights from the car. So it's a completely different thing. I think the vibes are somehow similar, but yeah, we don't really struggle for vision here.
Just checking. Thank you very much, Antonio. You'll get an opportunity to ask questions after Taylor and Stoffel have spoken. Taylor, we'll move on to you. Obviously, a strong start to your season, getting a podium in your first race as a full-time Neon McLaren driver. What's achievable this weekend in these two races here?
Well, I think it's been a good start to the season, obviously. I feel like we've got a good, strong package. In Mexico, qualifying didn't quite go our way, but I still felt the recovery that we did during the race was very strong. Like I said, I feel quick, I feel good within the team. I feel like we've got a strong package. So the aim is to be high in the points, and a podium would be great.
At the moment, you're mixing it up. I mean, you're sat in between two former champions here. You're mixing it up as a rookie for a first-season driver. You're mixing it up with these guys that have won world championships before. Is there ever much consideration that goes through your head of how you've jumped in and kind of hit the ground running?
I think part of it was the fact that I was a reserve driver last year, so I learned quite a lot. Coming into this season, I don't really feel like a rookie. I guess technically I am, but I feel well prepared before every event. I feel quite comfortable within the car, and I believe in the team and the package that I have. So, I don't really feel like a rookie, to be honest.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but you're one of two drivers racing this weekend that has raced at this track before. You raced here last year in F2. I think you came 13th in both races, so I'm sure you'll be hoping to finish higher than 13th this weekend. Do you think having raced here gives you an advantage, given that the track is so different to what you raced on last time out?
Yeah, of course the layout is slightly different, but I think just being at the event already once, knowing the tarmac, knowing the kind of environment that you will be in, I guess it helps slightly. At least I'm not going to an event like Mexico where everyone else has 5 years of experience and I have none, so at least it puts me on a level playing field, which is obviously slightly to my advantage.
Thank you very much, Taylor. I'll move on to you, Stoffel. 2 top 10 finishes so far this season. What do you think is possible this weekend, and is there more you can get out of the car at the moment?
Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, the big talking point this weekend is a pit boost, so that's going to be a little bit different for everyone, and something everyone's put a lot of effort and preparation into that. Like Antonio said, I just hope that everything runs smooth for everyone. We get a clean sequence of pit stops for everyone, deciding their own strategies, and then I think from our side we've had a decent start of the year. We haven't nailed everything yet. We've not qualified well and we've raced well. So I think the point for us to improve is to qualify ourselves a little bit higher up, so we can at least start in the right group. And that's going to be a bit of our focus for this weekend.
I saw you out on the pit walk, on the track walk earlier on. You've obviously probably done some prep in the sim as well, I would hope. How much of a challenge is this track specifically for the drivers this weekend?
Well, it's I would say it's a permanent track. It's a little bit different than some of the pure street circuits that we have. A track where all the simulator tools that we have, they're very accurate. It's going to be quite particular between the 2 races, the style of racing. I think we're going to see a big switch from race 1 to race 2, how that is gonna develop. So plenty of action. I think everyone's done their preparation as we usually do. So now it's down to business and make sure we execute on that.
Excellent. I know there'll be a lot of questions here, so I'll open it up slightly early to anyone that would like to ask any of our drivers a question. Okay, here we go.
Lucas and Stoffel, hello. You both have raced in Diriyah before. How different are your car setups this time around at the Jeddah circuit?
Diriyah was a very different track to this one. We went there for a couple of years. I think it had its own character. The drivers really loved racing there, and I think the big challenge there was always kind of guessing the track grip. From year to year there was different tarmacs. Sometimes there was more dust than other times, and that was really having a big influence on the track condition. I think here it's more predictable in a way. We have some data from Formula One about the tarmac, about the roughness. It doesn't look dirty at all. It's in perfect conditions for Formula E, this circuit, let's say. I think the only change is maybe the car setup is a little bit different to suit a track like this than Saudi, or than Riyadh, sorry.
Similar comments. I think just the main thing is really the tarmac. I think in Diriyah, even though the layout was probably one of the coolest layouts we've ever been to in Formula E, not taking anything away from this one, but I think the grip will start at a much higher point here this weekend, and I think the cars can be run a little bit stiffer to start with.
Thank you very much. We've got anyone else over this side? No? Okay. Let's go. Gentlemen standing up for ease, and then we'll come to you next.
Right. Question to Stoffel and about Taylor. You're a veteran yourself, and Mr. Antonio over here as well. This is Taylor's 5th race. How quickly do you think he has picked up so far in Formula E?
I didn't understand.
This is Taylor's 5th race in Formula E, and given that you and Antonio are veterans in Formula E at the moment, how quickly do you think Taylor have picked up with the series?
I think Taylor's done a very good job. Getting a podium in his 2nd race actually, because he raced in Monaco last year as well. He's done a very good job. I think it's Formula E goes in swings. You can arrive, you can have some really good days straight away, and then sometimes Formula E bites you as well. You kind of get to a certain point where things don't go your way, and then it's very easy to sometimes overthink things. But I think it's a learning process for everyone. I think everyone has been, you know, all the champions, all the guys that have won, that done well, they've been through tough times. And it's how you kind of deal with those situations and overcome those. I think that's the weirdness sometimes about Formula E, is that, you know, everything needs to be picture perfect to do well.
Yeah, it's definitely done very well. I think, not taking anything away from Taylor, I think he's a very future threat for all of us. I think the scary thing is just that the team he's with, you know, they have won 2 championships. They are probably one of the best technical teams on the paddock. Very experienced teammate as well. So he's got everybody, a lot of talented people around him to speed up the process of getting used to everything.
Hello guys. Welcome back to Saudi Arabia and welcome to Jeddah. We're so happy to having you. My question will be for you both, and then I have a question for Taylor. The first question is, you guys have been in Riyadh, in Diriyah, like for 6 years, and Formula E was the first motorsport coming to Saudi Arabia. And I want to know, how was the feeling to race in a World Heritage UNESCO site like Diriyah? How was that, and how was the feeling? I
have great memories of Saudi in general and Diriyah. I won the first ever race there 6 or 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And also to see how the country has developed, the speed of development of the country. I mean, from simple things to being able to just jump in an Uber to going out for dinner, and you know, it just feels like, yeah, a normal place. And it's been great to create some history here for Formula E. I think we've produced some amazing races here. And yeah, first time in Jeddah for us. I think the Diriyah track, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're building something else there, so that's why we have to be here. And yeah, just things running their natural course. And I think, you know, Formula E has a big tie to Saudi Arabia. They're also heavy investors in the series, so it's great to give back to Saudi Arabia, and we are always super well received here, so it's a race that I really enjoy coming to.
We're going to have to wrap that up now, unfortunately, because of the driver's media pen. Unfortunately, we ran over time. I'm sorry. You'll be able to ask the drivers in the media pen. The media pen will be taking place outside this room straight away. Thank you.